Breaking free from projection, unlocking the power of authentic growth. We've all had moments where we look at others and think, why are they acting that way? What's wrong with them? But what if those thoughts are more about us than about them? What if the judgments we project onto others are actually a reflection of our own inner world? Understanding and recognizing this phenomenon, known as projection, can be one of the most liberating aspects of our personal growth journey. But to truly break free from projection, we must first understand how it works, why it happens, and how we can take practical steps to stop it from controlling our lives. What is projection, and why do we do it? Projection is an unconscious defense mechanism that involves attributing one's own unwanted feelings, thoughts, or qualities to others. Instead of dealing with our own internal discomfort, we push it outward, placing it onto someone else. If we're feeling insecure about ourselves, we may begin to view others as judgmental or unworthy, even though it's our own fears at play. This happens because our brains are wired to protect our self-image. If we're faced with feelings of inadequacy or discomfort that challenge our understanding of who we are, it's easier and more comfortable to externalize those feelings rather than face them directly. For instance, if someone feels deeply insecure about their abilities in their career, they might find themselves judging colleagues for not being capable, or they may even criticize others for their perceived lack of skill. This isn't an objective reflection of reality. It's the person's own internal projection, a defense against feeling vulnerable or exposed. In this way, projection functions like a barrier, allowing us to avoid confronting painful truths about ourselves. While this defense mechanism might offer short-term relief, it ultimately hinders long-term growth. The freedom of self-awareness, a path to healing. The key to overcoming projection is self-awareness. By learning to notice when we are projecting our feelings or judgments onto others, we can take a step back and ask ourselves important questions. Am I seeing this person for who they truly are? Or am I seeing them through the lens of my own unresolved emotions? This simple moment of reflection is the first step towards breaking free from the cycle of projection. Self-awareness is a powerful tool because it invites us to take ownership of our internal experiences rather than passively letting them control our perceptions of the outside world. When we take the time to check in with ourselves, especially during moments of conflict or emotional turbulence, we can begin to disentangle our projections from the reality of the situation. Self-awareness is not about being self-critical or judgmental toward ourselves. Rather, it's about recognizing the patterns that govern our thoughts and behaviors. It's about acknowledging that our projections are not absolute truths, but rather subjective interpretations of our emotions, fears, and past experiences. When we acknowledge that these projections stem from our own inner world, we free ourselves from their grip. The power of letting go, allowing yourself to evolve. True personal transformation is about becoming more aligned with who we really are at the core, not trying to change or mold ourselves into something we're not. We can't grow if we're constantly tethered to old beliefs, old fears, and old stories about ourselves that no longer serve us. Projection is a form of clinging to these outdated aspects of our psyche. When we learn to let go of our projections, we begin the process of releasing outdated narratives about who we are and how we view the world. We move from a place of protection and defense to one of empowerment and authenticity. Letting go of projection means accepting that we are not fixed or stagnant. We are dynamic, constantly evolving beings. And just as we give others the room to change and grow, we must also give ourselves the same grace. The more we resist the urge to project our insecurities or fears onto others, the more we allow ourselves the space to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. Practical steps to overcome projection. Breaking free from projection requires active effort, but the rewards, personal freedom, better relationships, and a deeper sense of self-connection are worth it. Here are some practical, actionable steps that can help you on your journey. 1. Pause and reflect. The power of a moment's pause. Whenever you find yourself feeling triggered, frustrated, or judgmental towards someone else, pause. Take a deep breath and reflect. Am I reacting to this person's behavior, or am I reacting to something within myself? This moment of self-awareness is crucial. When we're triggered, we often forget to slow down and consider our emotions before reacting. But taking a pause helps us step out of our automatic responses and into a place of mindfulness. This gives us the space to differentiate between external events and our own internal emotional reactions. By pausing and reflecting, we allow ourselves to be more present and less reactive, which helps us avoid projecting our fears, insecurities, or past experiences onto others. Over time, this practice of reflection helps to deepen our self-awareness and fosters greater emotional intelligence. 2. Seek feedback from trusted sources. Getting outside perspectives. One of the most effective ways to prevent projection is to gain feedback from others. We are often blind to our own projections because they are unconscious. However, trusted friends, family members, or mentors can provide us with a fresh perspective on our thoughts and behaviors. Sometimes, when we are too close to a situation or too wrapped up in our own emotions, it's difficult to see the full picture. Seeking honest feedback from those who care about us can help us gain clarity and prevent us from projecting our inner struggles onto others. Remember, this step is not about seeking validation or confirmation of your projections. It's about gaining insight into whether your perceptions are grounded in reality or influenced by your own biases. 3. Practice self-compassion, accepting your imperfections. To release projection, we must first embrace our own imperfections. If we constantly criticize ourselves for feeling insecure, flawed, or unworthy, we may start projecting those feelings onto others as a way of deflecting our own discomfort. Self-compassion is the antidote to this. It means treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and patience rather than judgment. When we learn to accept ourselves for who we are, with all our strengths and flaws, we're less likely to project our internal struggles onto others. Remember, growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens when we embrace our vulnerabilities and allow ourselves to learn from them. Self-compassion allows us to grow with love and acceptance rather than shame or self-blame. 4. Engage in therapy, understanding the root of your projections. Sometimes, the most effective way to work through projection is with the help of a therapist. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore the underlying causes of your projections, whether they stem from childhood experiences, unresolved trauma, or internalized societal messages. A therapist can help you uncover the patterns that drive your projections and offer guidance on how to address them. Therapy is not about fixing you. It's about understanding the root of your emotional patterns and learning healthier coping mechanisms. Through therapy, you can gain insight into how your projections affect your relationships and your well-being and begin to work toward healing and growth, breaking free from the cycle, a path toward authenticity. Refusing to buy into your own projections is a brave and powerful act. It's about recognizing that you are not the sum of your insecurities, fears, or judgments. You are a dynamic, evolving individual who deserves the space to grow and change. By practicing self-awareness, embracing self-compassion, seeking feedback, and engaging in therapeutic work, you can break free from the limiting cycle of projection. The more you release these projections, the more you make room for authenticity, vulnerability, and genuine connection with others. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. But every step you take toward awareness and healing is a step toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. So let go of the projections, embrace who you truly are, and allow yourself the freedom to evolve.